classes coming to be online due to quarantine, I've came to realize that I've had more assignments due that I had not anticipated on having. So imagine you have a million assignments due and 2 exams due all in 1 week. I'm sure we've all experienced this. And this really leads to having an uneasy mind. And having an uneasy mind can lead to many, many different mental illnesses. And at some point, everybody has experienced some sort of uneasy mind, whether that be like stressing about school or trying to, get all of your things straight in your life, like work, school, kids, like whatever it may be. I have personally dealt with having an uneasy mind and the mental illnesses that come along with it. And so today we're going to discuss the problems and those mental illnesses. And so first, let's talk about the problems associated with having an uneasy mind and the mental illnesses that go along with it. And the 3 main mental illnesses is 1, anxiety, 2, depression, and 3, traumatic experiences. So first, let's address anxiety and what it is. So Tanja Jovic says from anxiety.org in her article called What is Anxiety? She basically says that anxiety is a reaction to stressful, dangerous, or unfamiliar situations, and it is the sense of uneasiness, distress, or dread you feel before a significant event. I have felt this in in speech class, just like this, you get stressed out because you have to speak in front of a lot of people, and you're scared about, well, what if you mess up during your speech or whatever it may be. And I've personally dealt with anxiety in another way, and that is whenever I was a teen and pregnant, and just worrying, is everything okay with my baby? Is it going to be okay when it comes out? I hope it has a good life, those kinds of things. And a majority of those diagnosed or struggling with anxiety disorder don't receive treatment or have the access to receive treatment because they don't tell anybody about it, so they can't gain the information of who to go see or and that is from anxiety.org as well, from What is Anxiety also. And many people who struggle with anxiety often don't know how to calm their nerves from anxiety or how to get help. The next problem is how traumatic experiences affect our mental illness and things. So one traumatic experience people go through is having PTSD. According to mayoclinic.org, from their article named Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder, which is what PTSD stands for, is symptoms can include flashbacks, nightmares, or they can be triggered in certain ways. For instance, my grandfather was in the military and he went to war, and when he came back he had a bunch of PTSD and he'd be triggered by loud sounds and stuff. But PTSD can come from a variety of things. Let's say if for instance, if a girl was to get raped or something, she could be triggered by certain things that happened to her or something like that. There's multiple ways PTSD can be associated with. And PTSD can control a person's life, and it's hard for them to go through life without being triggered or reminded of things that happened to them. So now that we have understand the problems associating with having an uneasy mind, let's discuss how to reduce these problems. So one solution is you can reduce stress by doing yoga. And according to examineexistence.com, in their article named 5 Mental and Psychological Benefits of Yoga, they talk about how yoga reduces blood pressure and heart rate as well, and it improves respiration, and yoga provides you with the means to deal with and resolve anxiety and depression without restoring or expensive medication. So whenever you do yoga, a lot of it is focused on your breathing, in and out, and it's scientifically proven that taking deep breaths can reduce stress, just like Miss Green tells us before our speeches, take deep breaths and it will calm us down. So it's just like that. And for me, yoga's the first thing I do whenever I wake up. Especially like in high school with like having the ACT and like all these tests we have to take before getting into college. Like I would always like make sure I did my yoga, and it really calmed me down. And it's even proven that if you do yoga, it helps out your test scores as well. And many people find flaws to yoga, such as it's too time consuming, you can't afford to go to class, and it's only 20 minutes of your day. It's not that long. And there's YouTube videos you can watch talking about yoga and like yoga moves you can do to help reduce your stress. So now that we've discovered a possible solution to the problem, now we can look at the actions you can be taking. You can wake up 20 minutes earlier and do yoga 20 minutes before you go to start your day. You can search up on YouTube a 20-minute yoga routine. It doesn't even have to be 20 minutes. It can be like 10 or 5. Just start out small and build up on that. And to be reminded of when to do it, because like you have to get in a routine of things, you can like put a sticky note on your door and say like, do your yoga this morning. Now that we have discovered some actions to take, here's some actions you can take to start yoga. In conclusion, we've discussed the problems associated with having an uneasy mind, anxiety, and traumatic experiences. Having an uneasy mind at some point is absolutely inevitable in this life. But a very good way to deal with having an uneasy mind is to do yoga, even if it's only for a short amount of time. Remember, control your breathing and do some yoga.